Hello everyone, welcome to Mifratech. So today in this section I'm going to explain you this IPL winner prediction project. So here in this project mainly we are going to predict, like I told, whenever the two teams playing the match which team will win the particular match. That match winner prediction we are going to do in this project mainly based on different input data we'll take from the user using different kind of machine learning techniques and algorithms. So in the previous section, how to run this project and what the exact output you will get and what and all the algorithm data set we use, how we train the algorithm, all those things I have explained in the previous section. So now in this section I'm going to explain you the front end code, like what is the exact front end Python code we have written and what and all the HTML code we have written. All those things I'm going to explain you in this section. First we'll go to the project folder. So this is the exact project folder name, that is IPL winner prediction. So here what and all the files related to front end code means this static folder. So when you open this one, inside whatever the background image will add for the front end web pages, that image should be kept inside this static folder. Next we have a template folder. When you open this one, inside this one the HTML code of a login page, register page and prediction page, and the same image we kept in the static folder, everything present inside this template folder. Next we have app underscore SQL. This is the exact Python code related to front end we have written inside this app underscore SQL. Next we have DDBB. This is the database SQL file. So these are the four things related to front end code in this project folder. Now I will explain the code. So for the code which I will explain is app underscore SQL. HTML code I will explain simultaneously. First open this app underscore SQL. Just right click on this one. Edit with, ideally edit with 3.6. It will open the app underscore SQL Python code. That is the front end code of this project. So now the first step in the thing is here whatever the package needed both for front end and back end I have explained, like I have installed. Under that I explained in the backend code itself. Now I will directly import them. First step is we have to need to import the different packages or technique using in this particular program. First import numpy as np. I'm importing. Why numpy in the front end means if we are using any case any mathematical operations or numpy like n dimensional array we are using means we need of numpy library, so I'm importing. Next thing is import pandas as pd. So why importing pandas means if you are in case you are converting anything into a data frame means in order to convert that into data frame we may require pandas library, so I'm importing that one. So next thing is here in the front end code in the web pages we will do registration login there. So for registration login we may need of fetch, like inserting data into database like username and password and fetching data from the database, that is username and password data. So in order to do all these processes some techniques I needed for that database. So all those techniques I'm going to get inside this PyMySQL library, so I'm importing that one. So import PyMySQL install as underscore as MySQLDB, import MySQLDB. So these things will help us to do that purpose. So next in order to store username and password, some empty list I'm going to create now. So Gmail list, open and close up braces, that is square braces, nothing but an empty list. Next password list, Gmail list one, password list one. So four empty lists I have created. In Gmail list I will store username, in password list I will store the password, so in the later section of the program. So next front end mainly written we have with the help of the Flash, that is the web framework, Python web framework. So that from there some of the things I'm going to import now. So from Flask import Flask request JSON render template. Next thing is the back end, whichever the algorithm gave the more accuracy. In this case random forest gave the more accuracy. I convert into pickle model like a binary format so that I can directly load it in the front end. So now I will load that one. So with the help of this joblib I will load. So import joblib. How to load means joblib.loadup. The name of the file is final model extension pkl. So this will load that finalized algorithm. I store it in the variable model. So at the last of the program I will use this model only in order to predict the output. So next, so this Flask whatever is there, it is like an app, so we have to use certain syntaxes in order to initialize this one. So how to initialize this one means app is equal to Flask of underscore name is equal to underscore name underscore. This will initialize your Flask. So after that, now there is a thing here. So now we will run this one. So click on run module F5, save this one. So when you run this front end code, what you will get is an HTTP link will be generated. Now you can see there is an HTTP link will generate now. So now whatever the HTTP link generated will copy starting from it. After 5000 there's a slash, up to this much will copy, and we go to the default browser where my localhost that database has open a new tab, just paste this link and click on enter. So what will happen, you'll directly getting the registration page of this project. So how it is exactly opening the registration page means, how it is routing or how it is loading this HTML code means, that I will explain now. See here, when you do up the at app.root of. So after 5000 there is a slash. So whenever the slash come, what happening is return render template of register.html. So I am returning whenever the slash come, a registration page HTML code have written, that code is loading or it is executing. So only you are getting this registration page here. So that is how you are getting that one. So this register.html, where it is present means when you come to project folder, there is a template folder. When you open, there is a register HTML code is there. So this one I will explain now. So just click on right click on this, open with notepad itself. I can explain. So now I will open this one. So this is the exact registration HTML code we written for the registration page. So before explaining this one, I will show what and all the should be present here. See here, there is a background image and the heading is register here, and there is a form where you can enter username and password. So finally, now to submit the data, there is a button. The name of the button is register. So when you enter some username which is already there in the database, when you click on register, you will get one message, this user is already in use. So in order to display this data, so where I can display it, or how exactly it is displaying, for that something I should give inside the HTML code. One more, there is a hyperlink is there, hyperlink button like a thing. When you click on this login button, it is directly load the login page HTML code. So these are the things should be present in the HTML code of the registration page. So now I will explain that one. See here, first doc type HTML, HTML head, these are the default HTML tags you have to use. Next is, if you are doing any kind of styling, like styling is nothing but background image styling, this text, whatever the register, this text styling, how to do that one means inside the style tag. I will open first body background image. So whatever the image you have to care, like import, like use in the web page background, that should be kept in static and template folder. So first static file name present in template folder. The name of the image is image1, extension is jpg. So name of the image with extension you have to give. So where that image is inside the template folder, observe here the name of the image image1, extension jpg is present. So now I am giving that one. So next, for that background should not be repeat, no repeat. Background size, height and width 100% I am giving. Position, it should be at center. Background size, it should cover the whole page I am giving. Finally, next, for this hyperlink have to style, like it is in white color, red color background, height and width of this box, all those things I have to style. Now first the tag name is here now. So a background color I'm giving, padding, height and width of the box 15 px, 25 px, color white. The text should be aligned center. Display in block is nothing but align properly everything. Next, background color of that one, hyperlink, background color red I'm giving. Finally, I will close the style tag. So now the image, whatever the image name you will give, have to give at this time, or here also you have to give, if in order to finally applicable, in order to change that image. So image1.jpg I'm giving file name. Finally, I will open a division class. Now this heading have to create register. So how to create means h1 is the tag I will use for heading. So the name is register. For that b is nothing but I'm bolding all the letters. Font style, color I'm giving white. Font family, the style of the font I'm giving Vardhana. Size of that font I'm giving 5. Finally I will close everything. So after doing this only, you are getting this kind of register here heading. After that, some line break, some gap is there. So how to insert that gap means br. So br will call it as line break. This will insert that much of gap. So next we have a form here to create. So form action of I'm creating a form action. So here URL for register, what this means whatever the username and password you will enter register in the registration page form, I should collect is somewhere in the Python code. So in which method I'm collecting means the name of the method is register. So that is what I have written there. So where that method means, when you come down, say you can see there is a user defined method register is there. Inside this method only I will collect all the data whatever you enter in this registration form, register page form. So now inside the form, what is there? Input type text, username. At the place of placeholder, username is there. So here whatever the username will call it as a placeholder, that is what the name what I have written there, it is displaying. Finally br, some line break I am giving. Next is password, input type. If you don't enter any password, by default the password stored will be fake psw. Finally at the placeholder password, line break I am closing. A button, submit button have to create now. So button, type of the button is submit. A class, this is the class of the button I am using. The name of the button is register. You have to write here. I will close all of them, a line break. Finally I will close the form tag. So now that much is there in form. So now where this data is displaying, the string message means, see here line break I'm giving just to align everything properly. So for that, wherever the flower basis text is there, where the place of text only this data is displaying. So where it will store means in the backend code, At the place of text, we are storing this user is already in use and successfully registered. Whenever the particular condition is satisfied, that data will be displayed here at the place of text. For that, styling I have to do. So B bolding I am doing, font style color black, font family Verdana, size 6 I am giving, finally line breaks I am giving. So next we left with only this hyperlink have to create. So A is the tag, so href slash login, the name of the button is login. See here, whatever the name is there, that is displayed. Next, how exactly it is going to login page when you click on this to login page means. So now observe here, href I'm giving slash login method. So what this slash login means, and I just click on this login button, it will load the login page HTML code. How it is loading means, there is a slash login method will be loaded when you click on that hyperlink. Where that slash login means, when you come to app underscore SQL Python code, when you come down, see here there is a slash login method. So when you click on that one, this the control will come here. It is return render template of login.html. So it will automatically load the HTML code, login page HTML code. So only we are directly going to HTML login page HTML code, like page you are getting there. So that is how it is happening. So next, finally, I will give some line break. I will close all the tags. So this much is in the registration page HTML code of this project. So now I will close this one. So now here I will explain you how exactly the registration is happening here. Like I told, whatever the username and password you will enter, I will collect in the register method. So I will collect the data first. Where means inside the register method first. How to collect means request.form.values will collect all the data from that form. I will store it in a temporary variable x. I have to store it in a string format. So str of x. Finally, I will keep everything inside a list. So square base is nothing but a list. I will store it in a variable int features too. Now observe here, first data what you enter, username, it is present at the index 0, password present at the index 1. So R1 is equal to int features of 0. So username whatever you enter, I will store in R1 variable, I will print that one. Again, int features of index 1, password I will store in R2, I will print. Again, int features of index 0, username I will again store in log1 variable, password I will store in one more variable, passw1. So I have stored username and password in some variables, later I will use. So now I have to connect my database. So import mysqldb, mysqldb.connect, localhost I am connecting, username root I am giving, password and empty. The name of the database is ddbb. So now I am giving, finally it will connect my database. I will store it in a variable db. So if you want to fetch anything data from the database means you have to create one cursor method. So db.cursor of method I am creating that I will use store in a variable cursor. So now I will execute an SQL query, that is cursor.execute select user from user register. So what I am doing is I am selecting. So inside the ddbb database there is a when you come here there is a user register table is there. When you open that one, see there is a two columns is there. So what I am SQL query executing is I am selecting this user, select user from user register. So I am selecting this entire user column from a user register table in the ddbb database. That is what I'm executing. Now after selecting, I have to fetch all the data, like all the usernames in that particular column. So cursor.fetch all will fetch all the usernames present in that column. I will store in a variable result one. Now I will take all the username one by one using for loop. I will assign store it in empty list which I initially created it. In this list I will store it. So how to store means, for row and result one will fetch all the username one by one. Finally a Gmail list one append will help us to add the data in a string form str of row 10. So this will, after executing everything, all the username present in the database now will be added to this empty list Gmail list one. So my all username present in the database available in Gmail list one. So now if some username is already there in the database, if you use the same username to register means there is no point in it registering the same username. So when you do that process, it is giving you the message that this username is already used. How it is happening means, now observe, I'm checking if log1, whatever the username just now you enter in the registration page, I'm checking that username in present in Gmail list means is present in database. I'm checking username database. So in case the particular username is already there in database, what I will do is return render template in the registration page. At the place of text, I will display this user is already in use. So that is how you are getting this message here. This name Kiran is already there in the database. If I enter the same name in order to register, when I click on register, you are getting this user in already in use message. So that's how it is happening. So in case the user is not there in the database, if you are entering some new username is, that name should be updated or inserted into database. So that I will do in else part. So else, first SQL query I will execute, that is insert into user register. what is the SQL query means? Insert into user register. In user register, I'm inserting some data. What data means? User and password values, percentage is percent, both are string values. Both those values present means initially I have stored in R1 R2, right? That value. So value of R1 comma R2. Now I will execute this. So cursor dot execute of SQL comma query. Inside the try block I'm executing. db dot commit, db dot rollback, db dot close. Finally, all the username and password will be updated into my added to my database. So now return render template in the register page at the place of text I will display successfully registered message. So this is how exactly the registration is working in this project. So now I will enter some username and password which is not there in the database. So now I will enter that name. So username I am entering. Next password I will enter. After that I will click on register. Now observe here, successfully registered method message you are getting. When you come here and just refresh this page, the username and password will be updated or nothing but inserted here. See the particular username password just now I entered, it is updated in the database. So this is how exactly the registration is working. So next, like I told, when you click on login page, login slash login method will be executed. You will directly going to login page. So what login page HTML code I will explain now. See here what is there, the same background image like in the registration page. Heading is now login not register, same form where you can enter username and password. There is a login button is there, that much is there in the login page code. And one more thing is, when you enter some username and password, if the username and password is not matching, non-matching username and password you enter, when click on login you'll get one message that is use proper username and password. So this much should be there in the HTML code of login page. So where it is present means inside the project folder there's a template folder, like template folder, inside that one login HTML code is there. So now I will open that one, open with notepad. So now it has opened. So this is the HTML code written for login page. So now same, everything is same, background image is same. So only difference is now a body background of static heading at the h1. Now it is login not register, font bolding color white, family size, everything is same. Now a form have to create. So form action of URL for logged in. So what this is means, whatever the username and password you enter in login page, in which method I'm collecting data means the name of the method is logged in. So where that method present means when you come to this Python code, come down here, see here there is a method called logged in. So inside this method only I will collect all the username and password you enter in this login page. So next thing is, inside this form what is there, input text name, the placeholder name, username is there, password default is fake psw, a line break I am giving. Finally a submit button, the name of the button is login. Now finally I will close the form. So that much is there in this login page HTML code. Next, finally in order to display that data, text I am replacing. At the place of text, the use proper username and password will be stored here at the place of text. So that condition is satisfied, that is displaying the data. For that font style I'm bolding those things, font style color black, family size 6 I'm giving. Finally some line break I'm giving in order to fit everything into my data. A particular page should be fitted, and I'm closing all the tags. So this much is there in the login page HTML code. So now I will close this one. So now I will explain how exactly the logic login is working here. So like I told, all the data whatever I enter in the login page I will collect in logged in method. So inside the logged in method, request.form.values I will store in temporary variable, converted into string format strf, stored in a list. So that is available in variable in features 3. First data what you enter is username in index 0, password in index 1. So I will store int features of index 0, log u, username in log u variable, password in the index 1 in passw. I will connect my database, import MySQLDB connect, localhost, username root, password empty, name of the database is ddbb. I will store it in a variable db. I will create one cursor method, db.cursor of stored in a variable cursor. So now how to fetch username and password from the my database. So I will execute some SQL queries. So cursor.execute, select user from user register. I'm doing is nothing but I'm selecting user register column from my user register table from the database. So after selecting all the username list, I'll fetch all the data stored in result one, fetch one by one using follow up. Finally I will store in Gmail list. For this empty list, all the username will be appended is nothing but I'm adding in the string format. So now I want to fetch password data also. So one more cursor object I will create. So db.cursor of I will store in a variable cursor1 now. So cursor1.execute, select password from user register. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting this password column from my user register table from my database. So after selecting that one, I'll fetch all the data. So cursor1.fetch all will fetch store in result 2. I will fetch like take them one by one using follow for row 2 in result 2. Finally, I will add to password list is empty list, append I am adding in a string format. Finally, all username is present in Gmail list, password will be present in password list. So in which logic I will use for login means, when you see here in the database, the respective username and password is available in a same row. So it's nothing but when I store username in one list, password in one list, when convert them into a list, it is the present in the same row is nothing but all are present in the respective username and password present at the same index in the list. So that is the logic I will use now. So what I will do is I will check the index value. So if of Gmail list index of which index value I am fetching is whatever the username just now you enter in the login page, that username index value equal to I am checking whatever the password you enter I stored in password, that password value index in the list I am checking if the particular username and password in the data in this list that index value is same is what I should do is the user should go to prediction page. So return render template of index.html is nothing but prediction page HTML code will be loaded. So you will directly go to prediction page. Here when you enter correct username and password, after entering username and correct username and password, and you click on login, it will direct to take you to prediction page. So this is the index.html, that is the prediction page. So now in case he is not entering the correct username and password, what it will display is return render template login page. At the place of text, use proper username and password message will be displayed. So only when you enter some wrong username and password, when you try to log in, you will get this message. See, use proper username and password. So this was how the login is happening in this project. So now we'll enter the correct username and password. So after entering correct username and password, what will happen is when you click on login, it will take you to prediction page. So this prediction page HTML code I will explain now. So now observe what it is there. The heading is IPL match winner prediction, the same background image. So there is a form, and here whatever team 1, team 2, city, whether this thing, this text is there, we'll call it as label. We have to create and we have to decorate style this, and predict button is there. So after entering all the data, see, so just enter some data. So after entering input data, uh, when you click on predict button, after entering all the data, you will get output here. The winner of the match will be Kings 11 Punjab. So this some output you will get. So whatever the output it is displaying, for that displaying output, some thing have to insert in the HTML code. So this much is there in the HTML code of this prediction page, that I will explain now. So go to the template folder. The index is the HTML code, prediction page HTML code. Just open with Notepad now. So now I have opened. See here what is there. So same doc type HTML, everything is background image also same. Just I have to do for the styling of the label. So after every label there is a colon is inserted. So this is happening automatically. So label after content. So after every label colon will be added automatically. Therefore label I will do the styling. Color black I am giving. Font bolding I am doing. Display in block will align everything properly. Width of that giving 120 pixel is width is nothing but the total width whatever the up to this much whatever the gap is there, that I am giving 120. Finally now to fix them correctly, so text align should be at the center. The size of the font of that label I am giving 120%. So this the style of this size of these fonts you can increase or decrease there. 120 I am giving. Finally I will close this label. The size of this predict button also, that width you can increase. So form button of type of submit display inline block, width I am giving 70 px. If you increase, give more values, the width of this predict button will be changed there. So that is over. Next thing is I will background image same, a division clause will open. Heading at the h1 what we have heading is IPL match winner prediction. This is the heading there. For that style font bolding, font style I am giving color white, font family Vardhana, size 6 I am giving. Finally I will close that one. So you are getting this heading. Next there is a form I have to create. So form action of URL for predict. So whatever the input data I will enter in this form, I should collect somewhere. So in which method I am collecting is, the name of the method is predict. Where it is present is, come to app underscore SQL. See here there is a method called predict. Inside this method only I will collect all the input data I will enter in the prediction page. So now we'll come here inside the form, label for first team 1, input text team 1 like the team 2, city, venue, toss winner, toss decision, all the input data finally we will enter, have created. Next there's a button. So button should be aligned at the center. So center tag I am using here, closing and opening. Button type it is a submit, class same I am using. The name of the button is now predict. I will close the form. So that much is there in this button. So labels I have created, all those things, everything over. Next this output it should display. So a prediction text I will open. So flower basis prediction text, at the place of prediction text only in the background, like in this Python code, at the place of prediction text, the winner of the match I'm storing. So only it is displaying that data. So finally, I will add some BR line break. I will close all the tags. So that much is there in the uh, in this prediction page HTML code. So now I will close this one. So we'll go to the app underscore SQL. Now I will explain how exactly the prediction is working. Like I told, whatever the input data I will enter in the prediction page, I will collect in predict method. So now inside the predict method, request.form.values I'm collecting stored in a variable x, stored inside the in a string format strf, all of them present within a square basis nothing as a list, stored in a variable int features. So when I print int features, when I print that one, this is how it is printed here. When I print that list, the output, all the input from the front end, it will be collected in this formats here. Kings 11, Kolkata, Punjab, and that. So all the input data, 6 input parameter we enter will be collected in a list. But you know, while I was training my algorithm, like I told, all no none of the algorithm will accept the string values, text or list. So what we did means for each team names or venue name or city name, we created a dictionary, we gave some numerical value. According to that one, the whole data set itself will convert it into numerical value. After that, we train and calculate the accuracy. Now my algorithm will accept only numerical value only. So here also what I have to do means, whatever the input text like data I connected in the text format, I collected as a list. All this data I again have to convert into numerical value. So how exactly how I convert it in the backend, in the same way I have to convert now. So this in features I text I will store in one more variable a. The first data what you enter is a of 0 at the index 0, what you will enter is team 1. So I will store it in variable team 1. Next index 1 team 2, city index a2, index 3 we have venue, index 4 we have toss winner, in the index 5 we have toss decision. So all the 6 input data I collected and store in some variable. I will create a dictionary now. So data of at the user like name I am giving team 1, I store in this team 1 value, team 2 city, like that. All the input data I stored in a dictionary. This dictionary I'll convert into data frame. So because finally I want to give my input as a data frame only, how I train the algorithm. So pd.data frame of data, convert this dictionary into data frame. After I will store it in the df. So when I convert the dictionary into data frame, how it will be displayed means that a column name will be team 1, inside that team 1 value will be there, team 2 value, like that. Column name, the particular value will be displayed. So now also it is in textual format only. Now what I will do is, the exact whatever the dictionary we used in the backend, all those dictionary I will just copy paste it here. See, dictionary of teams, dictionary of cities, dictionary of venue, all the three dictionaries have copied whatever I used in the backend code. So according to this one I will map them inside the in this df data frame. So first dictionary of dot decision, all the 4 dictionaries is there. According to that one I will map. So df of from my original input whatever I collected just now, from that at the place of team 1 whatever the textual data is there, that I will map according to this dictionary of team. So particular whatever the, if you enter King 7 job means at that place 2 will be replaced, like that I will mapping. Next team 2 also I will map according to dictionary of teams. Next city I will map according to dictionary of these cities names. Next venue, that stadium means that I will map according to dictionary of this venue. Next toss winner also according to the dictionary of teams I will map. Finally toss decision column value I will map according to this dictionary of this toss decision. So field means 1, bad means 2, it will replace. So finally I converted all my input or string or textual data into numerical value. Finally will print my data frame. So after printing I will get my output as like this here. At the place of team 1 2 is the team 2 5 city, like that. All the column values now converted into numerical value initially, which was convert taken in the string format, textual format. Now I convert into numerical format, like how I trained the algorithm. So now I will give this as an input to my finalized algorithm to predict the output. So my finalized algorithm stored in a variable model 1 have loaded, right? That I will use now. So how I will call that one is model dot predict. I'm calling this df I'm giving as a input data which I collected from the front end from the that one. So I will store this predicted output in a variable prediction. So I will convert this prediction, will come in the list format I want in a dictionary. So int of prediction. Finally that print of prediction I will do. So it will be a numerical data it will give. See, it is giving the output as 2 here. Some numerical data it will display, but 2 means you don't know which team. So if you see here, 2 means the name of the dictionary teams 2 is nothing but Kings 11 Punjab, we should display. So I have to get the, now finally I should print in a numerical, not in a numerical team name I should display. So I will do the reverse procedure now. So value of key for key, value in dictionary of items. So inside this dictionary of teams, whenever the numerical value if I give, it should give me the team name. So that is what the thing I am doing. Finally, I will store it in a this dictionary in a winner name of that one. So when I print winner, so it will show me which for which team which is the names I was done. So I reversed my dictionary now. So whenever one I will give, it should give me the name of the team. So two, if I give the name of the team, like that I reverse the dictionary now. That is what I have done here. This one reversing the dictionary. So now I will give the integer value. So for this dictionary I am calling, for that the integer value, whatever the predicted integer value that I am giving, when I call this one, it will directly give me the name team name, that I will store it in a variable result one. When I print result, so what I am getting, so Kings 11 Punjab. So the new 2 means Kings 11 Punjab, the name of the team I am getting as output now. So finally I should display the same output in front end. So return render template index, that is prediction page. At the place of prediction text, I will display the winner of the match will be, or at the place of flower basis I will print that result, whatever the team that Kings 11 Punjab is showing, right, that output will be displayed there. So this is how exactly the prediction is happening in this product front end code here. So finally, like I told, this Flask is like an app. We have to now to generate the HTTP link, certain syntax we have to use exactly like that. That is, if of underscore name is equal to underscore main app dot run of debug is equal to false. These two line will help us to generate that HTTP link automatically. So this is what the exact front end code we written in this IPL winner prediction project. So now finally, I will give some input data. I will show you the output. So now prediction will occur. That is IPL match winner prediction. Now we have to enter different input data. First one is the team one. So name team, any team one and team two, whatever the two teams playing the match. That among them names, team names you have to enter. So first I will enter. I'll change this Bangalore itself. Team two have to enter. Will enter Chennai Super Kings. City name will enter. It is in Bangalore itself. So venue will enter. City is nothing but in which city the match is happening. Venue is the exact stadium name, MS Chinnaswamy Stadium, and toss winner, who which team won the toss and what they decided to do. Field. So after that, entering all the data, just click on predict. It will show you the outputs here. So the winner of the match will be Royal Challengers Bangalore based on whatever the input data just now I entered. So now we'll try with another inputs. So we'll enter some other things here. So we'll enter here Delhi itself. Will enter Firoz Shah Kotla. Toss winner will be Kings 11 Punjab, and they decided to bat. Means what is the output? So click on predict. So now observe, the winner of the match will be Kings 11 Punjab only. So based on whatever the entered data, so here match of Kings 11 Punjab will win. So this is the kind of output you will get in this project. So now we'll enter some other new outputs now. So Delhi versus Kolkata Knight Riders. City will enter Dubai. So in the Dubai, which stadium is will enter. So there are different stadium is there in Dubai. So Sheikh Zayed Stadium, and there which team will in the task means will enter Delhi Capital itself. They decided to bat means what is the output. So I will click on predict. So now observe, the winner of the match will be Delhi Capitals only. So like this, the IPL match winner prediction is happening in this project. Thank you for